G'day crafty chums, and it's Nikki here. And yeah, you join me on this video, a very shortened version I did of a live stream I did with Eileen McInnes on the International Crafters YouTube channel. And this is the cover of the altered Shadow Box book that we made in the last 2 weeks. And this is me just finishing off the cover. As you can see, I've peeled off the plastic outing of the book that was on there. It took me almost 2 hours to do that. That was fun. So I did that before the live stream because I didn't want to waste too much time. And I covered it with Mod Podge first after I'd taken it off because of course I was going to mixed media the bejeebers out of it. So the occasional stop and I do there is when I'm talking on the live stream. I also forgot to turn the camera back on occasionally. So I'm just covering the front and back with this acrylic paint. It's just a cheap acrylic paint that I bought the other week. Quite a nice colour, that one. There's no colour on the tube, so I couldn't tell you what it was. And this is one of the parts where I forgot to switch the camera back on. But I just glued down some book paper with Mod Podge. And I'm just gluing down a little bit more book paper as well, which you will see me do any second now. There's some more Mod Podge going on. I mean, man, I Mod Podged the bejeebers out of this book this time. Guess who's got her Mod Podge back? Oh, there you go. All right, okay, I know what I'm doing actually. I'm putting the Mod Podge on because I'm going to put some paint on afterwards, because I was going to do a crackle technique on there, and so I put the purple on, and I thought, I wonder if this will work with the blue underneath. And so I laid it on and I started to dry it, and I changed my mind. You know how it is when you change your mind. I thought, this actually could take a long time to dry. This is a live stream, and maybe that wasn't the right choice to do on a live stream. So what I do here is, I'm still thinking about it. What I do here is actually I get a baby wipe and I take off the paint. Because I've already got the Mod Podge on underneath and it had dried in between, I was able just to wipe it off while it was still wet. Well, most of it, stained the book paper, obviously, and stained parts of the book as well, but that's okay because it sort of like added to the shabbiness of the actual book cover itself. So I wasn't too unhappy with it that I'd actually done that, sometimes you get happy accidents. So that's me just wiping it off. Quite often I do change my mind while I'm doing things. If it doesn't feel right, then you just undo it. If I'm painting and it's not quite right, then I'll just gesso over it, But here I was lucky I was able just to wipe it off, which was good. It just didn't feel right, that purple over top of the blue. Even though this is sped up 4 times, I spent a lot of time doing that, and I'm drying it. And switching over on the channel as well, muting myself. And decided to put some more book paper on. I wish I'd actually tinted this book paper. Hindsight is a great thing. I should have tinted the book paper because it showed up really, really white underneath everything else that I did on top of it. Never mind. Live and learn. Well, actually, sometimes you want to have the white there, sometimes you don't. I'm sorry if I'm yawning. It's late in the evening while I'm doing this, and I've had a long day at work. Had to get up at 4 AM for the live stream, and I'm still going. So I've got a, as you can see there, a stencil, and I'm just putting some Distress Oxide through the stencil. And I think while I'm doing this, I think I thought about wetting it to set it, and I decided not to, and I think I just Mod Podged over the top of it. We'll see in a minute. Not much of colour on the stencil. It was flowers, because it's a flower of fairy kind of shadow box. Yeah, I just Mod Podged over the top of it. I did think of putting some wash on there, as I say, to set the ink, but then I decided, nah, just Mod Podge over the top of it, which of course obviously took off some of the colour, but not all of it. And then one of my favourite things to do is just put the second layer of a separated napkin onto the book cover. What it does is that that gives more texture, and if you've put down different paper, it helps actually just to stick the paper down a little bit more. And here I'm going around with a little bit of water around the edge of the napkin, because it's supposed to be easier to take off then when you do it. So giving it a go. I actually quite like just cutting it, but I thought I'd do the wetting the tissue bit this time. And once I dried it, then I went round with a little emery board and just took off some more of the edges of the napkin, just smoothing it all out. And also some of the paint as well, where they get a little bit of jaggy ends of the paint as well. I had a bit of trouble with my camera during this as well, because my battery was running out, and it was during the live stream and I couldn't just stop to recharge my battery, so I had to have the camera on and off, on and off, on and off. So here I'm putting some more Mod Podge onto the image that I have, and it's going to be an image transfer on top of the book. And as you can see, I did put another layer of Mod Podge onto the napkin and dried it before I put this one down on top. I didn't put it down on wet Mod Podge, I actually put it down on dry Mod Podge. So here we go, and just pressing out the bubbles underneath it, making sure it's stuck down nice and firmly onto the layer. Then I dried it some with my heat tool, and now I've just added some water, and you will see me just rubbing off the backing paper to reveal the image underneath. And you just keep doing that, you rub it off, wet it, rub it off, dry it some more, wet it, rub it off, dry it some more, until you get like until you've worked your way through the bloom of paper to the image there underneath. And so here we are, we're just rubbing. It takes a little while to do this, and you don't want to rub too hard. You need a little bit of a gentle touch when you do this. Otherwise you just rub right through and you end up rubbing the image off. Takes a little bit of practice. First few times I ever did this, I just rubbed away the image totally. But as in all things with mixed media, you just have a little bit of practice first, and eventually you're okay. Same as in painting, you just practice, and you just get better and better. So yep, that's what's going on here. Don't know what's going on yet. My images have stopped moving, so I think I'm still just rubbing away there. Hang on. It'll come right in a minute, I think. Here we go. So I've got a 4B graphite watercolour pencil here. Instead of having a Stabilo, I managed to find in one of the art shops a watercolour graphite pencil. And just going around outlining some of the books and things like that, as you would do with the Stabilo, and then wetting it a little bit and smudging it and things like that, which works, helps to do it. I'm not sure here. Oh yeah, right, okay, I've got my Posca pens out now. I love my Posca pens, and just colouring over the little angel there. I think it is. I think it's an angel. Yep. Just going over the angel in my Posca pens, and just highlighting in white to start with, and bringing out the image even more from the top of the book, from the backgrounds. And I've done a little bit more painting on there. I've painted some flowers on. And what else am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm now going around the outside of the book, just darkening the corners with the paint that I used before, and just putting in some different tonal value. Yeah, and I painted it a little bit more. I did some more work with some Tombow watercolour pens and things, just tinted up the photograph just a little bit there. And now with some Concord and Ninth alphabet stamps, I'm just stamping the word enchanted on the top of the book. And I had to keep turning it on and off just to get through the whole thing. And so a little bit of it has been missed out, but not too much. Just giving you enough to get the gist of it. So I hope you liked today's make, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, ring my bell so you'll know when I do lives or post a video. And hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.